which makes sense, right, to start with. So over here, so let me pull you over. I have a large pan of salted water, right? I'm just lighting that now to come up to the bottom. That's what we'll cook the pasta in 45, 50 minutes, hopefully. All right, and then you will also need a grater, some parmesan, a chopping board, a knife, some bacon, eggs, now flour. Now, I believe there's some people that are going to make a vegan version as well. So what I'm suggesting for that, my good friend of mine, Randy, up at DC, he used to do a vegan carbonara. And he used to do it made out of cashews or almonds. So what he used to do was cook those in white wine, garlic, and thyme until they were super soft, and then blend them up, and that would essentially become the egg and the cheese sauce. And then as a substitute for the bacon, he would smoke portobellos, and or I guess you could toast some walnuts at work, or smoked tofu was a suggestion as well. All right. So any questions so far? Please put them in the chat, and we'll do our best to answer them. All right, fair enough. So I'm going with 300 grams of Caputo, 00 flour. Okay. I know we have some questions about that. Feel free to use semolina. All-purpose works as well. So I've got that, and then I'm going to heavy egg yolk mix. So I'm actually doing a ratio of 100 grams of flour, 100% flour to 80% egg yolks. So essentially what that turns into is 300 grams of flour. Put that on your board. We're going to separate these eggs as well, so hopefully we don't make a mess. All right, and then that turns into 12 eggs. All right, it's normally about 20 grams per yolk. Right, so 300, 80% should be 240 if my math's right.
Okay, wait, what? So what have you done now?
So I currently have my boiling water on the stove, salted to taste like the sea.
Yeah.
Right. And then I have 300 grams of 00 Caputo flour down on the table. I have 12 eggs in this bowl, ready to be separated. I'm just using the yolks.
Why would you use the whole?
It depends on your preference, really. I personally am trying to work on the heavy egg yolk dough, so that's why I've gone this way. I used it the other day for the raviolis I made, and other stuff. I'm currently adding salt to the flour.
How much salt?
I don't know.
How many yolks?
All dependent on the amount of flour you have. I'm currently using 300 grams and 12 egg yolks. You can also do 2 cups of flour to 3 whole eggs. I mean, again, this is all based on personal preference. I know we covered that a lot in the pot pie we did as well. I know we probably might not give you enough information to left it all up to your own devices. So I'm currently okay, so I'm cracking the eggs. Oh, okay. No, we're in there. Right. So crack your egg. And try and separate it the best you can into 2 halves. Back and forth, the white goes away. Now, there is another version you can do. You can crack them straight into a bowl, and then pick them out afterwards with your hands. You can also get crafted with a water bottle and suck them up there as well. Just the yolks come up. You got a little vacuum trick. You can see the video online for that. All right. So there's 4. I'll show you real quick. Just get your hands in. Oop. There we go. Right? And then just jiggle it back. Open your fingers up a little bit and the white just slips through. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, I mean, the better quality egg, the more yellow your pasta, the richer the dough is going to be. So free range, you'll get a super yellow, golden texture. Another trick you can do with that is you can bloom some saffron in water and add it, and then that becomes your food coloring essentially. But obviously emit some liquid if you're doing that method. Right, so
why are you lining them up over the middle there?
I'm just going to mix my dough on the table. I don't want to overwork it. Feel free to do it in a mixer if you want. Hey, Jenna.
It looks like a little nest. Is that on purpose?
Yes. So I'm gonna put all the egg yolks in the middle, and then I'm gonna use a fork to slowly mix everything together, and then it's gonna come to a dough, and then I'll start using my hands. Okay, has anyone got any questions at this point?
What can you use the egg whites for?
You can make a lovely meringue. Yeah, I mean, you can do a little dessert here. You can make some Italian meringue too. Egg white omelet in the morning, right? You got breakfast and dinner here. All right, so we're almost there. I've almost got 12 eggs there.
All right, does anybody have any questions? I see some people working as they go. Ask them.
Has anyone got any questions so far?
Send them to the group chat.
Yeah, please put them in the group chat. All right, that's where Vanessa's monitoring the questions. She's going to feed them to me, and then I'm going to answer them for you. So a little rinse of the hands here. Okay. All right, so that's our little nest. Right, ready to go. Ready to get in there. I will wait if anyone wants to catch up, and we'll try and sync up and do it together.
Why would we want to sync up? This is a hard process to do on out or what? Scaring me.
It's not a hard process. But if you haven't done it before, I can understand your hesitation. All right. All right, so I'm going to start mixing. As I said, okay. We're just going to break those yolks. You know what I mean? And then we're going to slowly work our way out. Try not to pierce that wall, otherwise you're going to have to work real quick.
No, why do we keep the nest ball intact?
Because then the liquid will just overrun the edge. And you'll be trying to stop the egg yolk from running off your bench.
So we're slowly stirring.
Yeah, you see the way I'm just working away on the outside, pushing it wider, mixing that flour in, right? You can already see it starting to get thicker, starting to get a little lumpy in the middle.
Right? Do we want lumps?
Well, as soon as we start working it, the lumps are going to go away. We're just trying to get that egg yolk and that flour mixed together. Or eggs and water again, depending on what you're doing. Okay?
We get in there closer.
Okay, wait.
Oh,
sorry. So yeah, all right. We're to the point where I feel this is thick enough, I'm just going to start bringing those exterior walls in.
What if we slow down and we take a drink of wine? Is that bad, or do we need to continuously mix?
No, you can stop. You can have a little drink of wine. As you can see, it's all within those walls, right? We haven't broken them yet. You see how thick the mix has got now? All right, because some of that flour was incorporated. Just going to put that flour in.
So it's not like a meringue where we have to constantly wash it, or some kind of boiled sugars.
No, you want to kind of try and get this done at this point. You don't want to stop and start, because as soon as this is mixed, we're going to rest it for about 20 minutes, and then we're going to move on to bacon, cheese, your cashews or almonds. Again, as discussed, you can do this with whatever, right? We're just making pasta at this point. Yeah, I mean, it's probably the most versatile thing in the world. Roll it in different shape, fill it with whatever you want, put whatever sauce on it you want. Here we go, right?
I think it's better.
Get in there. Right, just start sticking your hands, just give them a rub. Right, all those pieces will come back off. I would start singing, but you don't want that. Someone else sing or dance when they cook?
So is it important to keep your counter flour, like biscuits or?
I did not add any extra flour. That was just the original white, which again I was using 300 grams and 240 grams of egg yolks / 12 egg yolks. There we go. Right. So we just want to bring it together. We just want to try to make it a monotone color. And we know all the flours mixed in. You know what I mean? But also we don't need to overmix it because we're going to roll it too, right? And that's going to act as a mix. And I know some of you are hand rolling, right? And others are using a machine. I know other people are on an extruder. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with that as it stands right now. It's together. You know what I mean? It's malleable. It's one piece. And again, I'm not overly concerned about the little dryer bits on the outside because I'm going to put it through the roller several times. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to mess around with it.
Extra flour around your table. You want to get all that flour in?
Yeah, you want to get everything that we were supposed to have in the recipe. So if you add flour, don't feel that you need to add it all, otherwise then you're going to be messing out in liquid.
So what if we just threw some flour down? Because I see people just have a lot of flour left over.
Okay. Yeah, again, all dependent on how much you put there is how much you would leave.
We have a question. What white wine would you put with this dish? You would be the last person to tell you, Dennis.
I think you're the wine guy, aren't you, Dennis?
Yeah. Dennis, I would do a Sancerre, or if you want it to be a little bit more metallic, I would go with a, that's a good white. Italian white. A mineral forward, because that would cut through the milk a little bit of the carbonara.
Okay, this dish is northern Italy, right? Traditionally, so I guess any northern Italian whites would be delicious. But we're not that good. You know what I mean? Drink whatever you want. I don't care. Drink this with root. Eat it with root beer. I'm good. So. See what Vanessa's drinking. There you go. Okay, so that's the dough. I'm gonna wrap it and put it in the fridge for till we get the next stage done, yeah? So everyone's caught up and we can start rolling together. All right, do we need to press pause for anyone currently? Or is everyone confident they can finish that up and get it in the fridge? Jenna and Tristan, I think you're pretty good there, right? You're one solid piece, as I say. Yeah.
No more flour.
Yeah, we're not any more flour. Just keep it going. keep it working, right? Handy dandy bowl scraper, right? Highly recommend. So all your cake batter out of your bowl, etc. Clean up your mash. This one is a Fat Daddy's online at Amazon. I believe they come in a 3-pack. I'm waiting for one. Okay, so if everyone's ready, we'll break down the morning and you go on the next part. Right. Oh, you can hear the rain. All right. Okay, so I cheated a little bit. I made a German potato salad yesterday. So as I was cutting my bacon, I already did mine. I will give it another chop though. All right, there's several options again. Right, traditionally it's guanciale, which is a big cheek that has been cured. Delicious. And if anyone hasn't tried a big cheek, I highly recommend it. Yeah, so this is where you would substitute your smoked portobello, your smoked tofu, toasted walnuts, whatever you prefer, as a protein substitute. You can even go tempeh if you want.
Where did you put the dough after you wrapped it in the fridge?
I wrapped it and I put it in the fridge. It's just in the fridge, doesn't matter what shelf. We're just letting it all have a little rest. Now, whenever you mix flour, it's always good to give it a minute. But for making pastry, I think that we'll recommend an hour at a time. All right, so as I said, I've already started my bacon, so I'm just going to finish it up real quick. Guanciale, again, I've put pancetta on the list for options. There we go. Right. Beautiful. Just going to let that hang out. We'll wash our hands and then we're going to grate our pan and separate our regular. So that's going to make our sauce when it comes time. Yeah.
We need 3 more eggs.
So in addition to the 12 eggs we used already in the pasta, we are going to use 3 egg yolks for the sauce. So we're just going to separate those again. We're just going to leave them in a bowl. And then we're going to grate our Parmesan / pecorino. Give it a little mix up, and then that's become our sauce. Because again, this one's an easy dish, right? It's all about timing on the pickup. Really, sorry. So as you finish browning your bacon, guanciale or pancetta, you want to have your noodles pretty much there, because you want to remove from the heat. Add this mixture so we don't scramble the eggs, and then bring it all together. Right, so. Yeah. It's all good. I was supposed to be separating those eggs, so I'm just cracking them. There we go. All right, our water's starting to come up to a boil now. I don't know if anyone else is. So if it is, let's consider turning it down slightly. Okay. At this point, I'm going to assume all the salt's dissolved, so I'm going to check my water. Tastes like the sea, so we're where we're supposed to be.
Why do you want it to taste like the sea?
Because when we cook the pasta in it, obviously the salt is going to get transferred into the pasta and help us season it. Plus, we're not going to add too much salt in this. I did like 1 pinch into the pasta dough because we have salty Parmesan, right? We have cured pork product of some description, so we're adding two heavily salted ingredients already to this. All right, and as far as grating your thyme, there you go. Let's keep going. Right? It's a simple dish. How much? I'm going to say, I don't know. I might not do all this pasta. I'm assuming I'm cooking for two at this point with 3 egg yolks and maybe quarter cup of parm. Yeah, and then I would say that baking up my board is maybe 4 rashers. Right, I'd equate it to close to 100 grams, or that is 4 ounces there, 3.5 to 4. Sorry, my English is showing. All right, so again, this is now we're just chilling out, right? We're waiting for our pasta to relax.
How long should it relax?
I'd feel comfortable 10, but I would personally leave it normally. Leave it 30 or so. Right? We'll just try to do this in one hit, like quick, clean hour. Yeah, anywhere from 10 to an hour, right, is ideal. You can also freeze this product. You can make it, wrap it, and put it straight in the freezer, right? So you can one day go to the freezer, pull it out, and you got ready-made pasta, right? You just got to roll it and go. Okay, so if I was to freeze my pasta down, I would make the pasta the same way we just did. I would either make a double batch, right? So then you just halve it, use half for today, take the other half, wrap it in a plastic wrap, and put it in the freezer. Make sure it's tight. Try and use it within a month. Also, you can use your food saver. I know April's on the call. Right, I'm a big fan of that. That's how I would leave it in the freezer personally.
Vacuum seal it?
Yes. Vacuum seal, food saver, cryovac. I bought my machine. It was relatively cheap. I think it was like $50. Right. We've got mixing my egg yolks and my parmesan. There you go. Just bring them together. There we are. And then we're just gonna we're gonna wait on our pasta. It's a lovely ciabatta this morning as well to go with our carbonara. Paul Hollywood's recipe online, BBC food. You might know Paul from the Great British Bake Off. He's been part of a family bakery for obviously since his entire life. His father and his grandfather were also bakers. So he's a good resource for bread and other such bakery items. All right, so how's everyone doing? Has everyone got any questions at this point? Everyone feeling good? I'll give you a little recap on the beginning if I haven't got any questions. Okay. All right, so again, the sauce, if I was making the vegan option, I'm going to do at some point soon. Cashews or almonds was Randy's recommendation. This is a gentleman who used to cook this on a regular basis in a restaurant. He developed it. So he would take cashews or almonds. He would cook them in water and white wine with some garlic and thyme.
How much white wine?
Just maybe 1 cup and then enough water to cover about a 1/2 inch, and then cook them there for a while. Right, simmer them away for a while. When I say a while, I mean an hour to 90 minutes, right on a low heat. And then he would mix those up in the Vitamix blender till they were smooth. And then that would be his sauce, right? So that's the egg and cheese equivalent here. That's how we would make that. Now I did a quick. I kind of cheated. I used some almond flour earlier, and I just rehydrated it with water, and we'll see how it comes out. And then for the bacon substitute, on the guanciale or pancetta, he was suggesting he used to smoke portobello mushrooms. Question mark whether you can find them in a grocery store already smoked. I would have thought there's some places you can. Can, yeah, but you also want to try and get that smoke in there, right? So it's like smoked tofu or toasted walnuts. I think it'd be a really interesting one. They're definitely getting pushed by the food industry nowadays as a good protein alternative. So we got shares of walnuts. Should probably be done good in the next 3 years. Well, that's just showing how you had pour a glass of wine here. All right, everyone feeling good? So, we got any questions?
I think we're ready to go. I think people will probably watch this.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys feel free to keep yours in the fridge. Right, I'm just going to go ahead here and get going. I'm going to hand roll half of it just to show you that. Because making pasta has become quite a thing on a Sunday, I guess, for our group, right? So I'm not going to add any flour to this whatsoever. I'm feeling confident my mix is great. Okay, I followed my ratio. There's no reason to add flour at this point. If it becomes sticky, feel free to use a very light dusting. Okay, similarly, if it's too dry, just wet your hands. Okay, so we're going to roll our pasta. We're going to give it a couple of rolls. And we're going to turn it, right? That encourages it not to stick. Right.
Is there a lot of pressure?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely pressing down on this, but then again, I've also got a moisture down, right? Because there's a lot of liquid from those egg yolks in there. Right, that's a medium pressure. You see how much it's moving, right? We probably gained an inch on that roll. I'm gonna try and square it up a little bit, just to make it easier for when we cut it. Don't be scared to fold it to make your square, rectangle, whatever shape, right? Uniformity is key. Okay. So I'm feeling kind of good about this length. I'm gonna go a little bit under. Because again, that's going to be the length of our noodle, right? With those egg whites. Everyone's going to feel free to keep putting questions in. I've noticed they're coming in at the bottom of the chat here because I'm on the phone. Okay, great. So I would say we want to go about half the thickness as it is right now. Right, and again, I feel pretty good. That's a good spaghetti length, right? But no one go too long one way, not long enough the other. So again, keep rolling. Right? So you go a little far one way, move your pen. Feel the script's pretty accomplished at rolling out doughs and stuff. Just keep moving it. Right, see, I still haven't added any flour yet. We're almost there, right? Consistency, it's almost shiny at this point. Let me see that, right? It's smooth. It feels nice. It's kind of squidgy to the pinch, right? If you don't pinch too hard. It's one piece. It's firm but pliable. It's staying together clearly, right? Monty's in the backyard. How you doing? Looks like a nice day there. All right. So again, we're talking. I'm making spaghetti, obviously, right? So we don't want to go too thin. Right? So as if we're making a ravioli or a tortellini, gnocchi, anything like that.
That's a nice glass.
We can definitely do that, but again, this is the same recipe, right? Same dough. So it's 300 grams, well, it's 100% flour to 80% egg yolks. So whatever your weight is, I'm feeling pretty good about that.
I have a question from April. If
Yes.
you're making lasagna noodles,
Always making lasagna. Yeah, I'm kind of okay. So we're down. Yeah, I mean that's probably the thickness of a dime right now, and I wouldn't take it any further than that. For lasagna, for a cup noodle, or anything like that. For a ravioli, I would take it down to again half the thickness of this. You see your hand through it. That's how thin you want that. Okay, so we're going to cut these. Right, we'll do it on the same board.
why did you fold the pasta like that?
I folded the pasta like that because I'm not going to take my knife and go all the way down. I'm going to fold it up and we're just going to cut pieces off the end. Right? So we're going to let you.
Wait, you're over. So this is how you're cutting spaghetti, right?
Yeah. I'm cutting it, so I've rolled my pasta to, I don't know, under a quarter of an inch thick. Right? We folded it up to make it easier on ourselves. We are now taking a knife and we are going to cut our noodles.
How thick?
The thickness of spaghetti. But again, we're hand cutting it, right? We don't expect too much uniformity, and that's the beauty of doing it by hand, right? Right? You're gonna have to play with them a little bit to get them open, but there we go. Right? Hand cut spaghetti right there. There we go. There's our noodles. Okay. So now I'm going to move on and show you the other way. Using the handy dandy KitchenAid pasta roller attachment, right? So 3 blades come in here. Standard pasta roller. Exactly the same thing as your hand crank, right? Solid rollers. Not going to do anything but make the pasta thinner. So again, you can get your hand crank that you strap on the side of the bench. You can get this version. You can even get a smaller electric version that you can just keep running through. How's everyone doing? Has everyone rolled pasta so far? Or are we just watching this letting ours rest?
Yeah, let the rest.
All right, great. Thank you.
My hands are wet.
Let's do a little tidy up and then we can go to this next one. All right. So we're just going to roll and get it going. Right? Again, this thing only opens so wide. And if you're not going through pretty soon, it gets messy real quick. Right? So you should start with somewhat of a thinner pitch. Right? It's probably half inch. So we've got our machine open, we've got it locked, we've got it plugged in. All right, we're going to do this. Hope that's not too loud for anyone. If it is, please tell me. You just got to feed it through. Feed it through. Keep it coming. There we go. Right.
Do you make this pasta ahead of time? Like if you have people coming over for dinner the next day?
Oh yeah.
Coming over for dinner, guys.
If you wanted to make this in advance, you certainly can. Right? Similarly, if you want to dry it out, you can. You can get those handy pasta stands. You can put a piece of string across your kitchen. You can put it on a sheet with holes and leave it in your fridge overnight. Okay, you got it all tidied up. Now we're just going to get to the thickness of the roller. There we go. Like I was saying, right, we're going to keep folding it. We're going to keep manipulating it. So you're not going to worry too much about the mix. There we go. Right, so obviously, also I want to talk about the machine's running over there. Okay, so that was the first pass on the widest setting on my roller. So I'm going to knock it down. I'm a little cheeky. I do my jump twos. But feel free to take it down step by step if you feel more confident that way. Also, if you're using an electric mixer, I normally put mine through on 6 because there's a sweet spot, right, between going too slowly where you have to support the dough and it starts to rip and you're not catching it quick enough, things like that. So it's kind of a sweet spot. I found mine's around 6. And I'm just supporting it. I'm not feeding this. All right, so we've gone through on the lowest and the next one down. We're just going to take it 1 notch this time. I'm going to think about putting some flour on it at this point. It's a little tacky. I don't think we're going to get through the roller again without it breaking up. So I'm just going to give it a super light dust, right? I don't see how much flour is on there. Almost nothing. And then I'm going to take my hand and brush it all off.
Oh, I made fettuccine.
That's okay, baby. All right, I'm going to call that good to go. Right? Pretty thin. I stopped halfway on the pasta machine setting. Right, and then I'm just going to fold it up. This is going to find our noodle length, really. Right, we're just going to do 3. I'm going to put it back on the board. And then we're just going to take those ends off. Right, so now we've got 3 sheets. So put that over and I'm going to roll the last quarter of the dough in here. So check your pasta water, right? You want it simmering at this point. All right, so as you can see, I'm just below simmer. I'm going to turn that up slightly. Right, you see the steam coming off it. There's little bubbles forming at the bottom of the pan. There we go. Okay. Right, it's got flour like slightly. Yeah. So it does. Brush it all back up again. Okay. Wait first, widen this sucker up again. All right, this is our final pass. I might give it one more. All right, guys. And then we'll do it for a second. Right, we're just gonna fold that up again to get our noodle length, right? So, oh, okay. Need more 2 seconds. So, just gotta take our ends off. Right. Yep. So same as the first time. Take the ends off. Then we got our 3 individual sheets. Right, 1, 2, 3.
Hand rolling seems a lot easier. Why do it through the plastic?
Well, I guess the benefits of hand rolling is your upper body workout, firstly. Secondly, it's a lot more tactile for you. I just like using the machine. One, it's a lot quicker. You know what I mean? I've rolled half that dough in half the time that I did by hand. So I just clean the bench up a little bit. Okay. And again, it's all on preference. Right, for traditionalist hand rolling, go ahead. If you want to take advantage of modern technologies, etc., you can feel free to do that as well. Right, so that was our spaghetti blade. I'll show you it. Sorry, I did say there were 3 blades that came with this. So our regular roller, flat blades, right? Step it down, knob it in. This is our spaghetti roller, right? Again, finer teeth. As a KitchenAid, all attachments, right? Just fit in the front. Super easy. And then the other one is our tagliatelle blade here. It's a lot thicker. Tagliatelle fettuccine linguine. Oh. See, it's a lot bigger on the blade. Comes with a handy brush. No product placement. Okay, we gotta turn on water. I'm gonna turn it up high now. I want to get this sucker going. I'm gonna turn my saute pan on. I'm gonna get this bacon going as we cut the spaghetti. Yeah. Simple as that. Beautiful spaghetti. Here's where you can add some flour so they don't then stick back together. All right, so we're just going to keep a little pile going. Is anyone any questions at this point I can answer for anyone? Okay, so I guess that pasta recipe kind of feeds 4, right? I feel confident that this is almost a portion, right? A little bundle over here, plus this one.
The whole.
Yeah, so that's 300 grams and 12 egg yolks. I think there's probably enough spaghetti for 4 people, right? I'm going to call that pretty good for a portion, right? It's probably only it's going to double at most in size, if that. So that's a solid portion. So 300 grams of 12 egg yolks is 4. Turn our flame down. I'm going into a dry pan, right? Again, we're using a pork product, so there's plenty of fat there. We're going to let it render down. We're turn down and let it go slowly. And get that fat going.
What if you're doing the vegan version?
If you're doing the vegan version, your mushrooms are already cooked when they're smoked. Your smoked tofu is already cooked, and your nuts are probably already toasted. So you can almost skip this step. I would just get a medium heat pan on the stove. As I was speaking, I'd love for everyone to share their pictures after this, so I'll put them in the group discussion feed, I guess. There we go. I'm starting to smell on the bacon now. Oh, there we go. Spaghetti time. Oh, thank you. And this is the hand cut version, right? Again, it's a bit hard to you, I guess, right? We're going to take our time cooking that. It's going to take a bit longer. As you can see, right through the machine, by hand, just a different. Turn that off. There we go. Any questions, guys?
No,
Everyone's good.
everyone's drinking.
Everybody's just drinking. All right, well, it's almost time for you to get your pasta out of the fridge here. All right, a little bit more flour there.
To the left, babe.
Yep, to the left, to the left. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's our spaghetti. We're ready to go. So I'm going to move your camera angle. Yep. Okay. So we're just going to take a little bacon. Okay, well, water's up to a boil now. I'm not going to move the camera. That means bubbles coming to the surface rapidly. Okay, that's where we want it. We're to the bacon up a little bit now because I've got my pasta right. Right, the only focus right now is on my bacon.
Guys, we got a new dishwasher and we're activating it at every turn. So that's what the noise is, the robotic noise.
I haven't added any oil to this pan. It's just the fat from the pork itself. Right? If you're doing the vegan version, I would suggest you break out a bit of olive oil in your pan. Because you want the fat to emulsify, and that's going to help give you the richness, right? I keep referring to it as vegan, but you feel free to add the cheese if you want. You know, I'm no judge. A lot of vegans I know don't even know honey's not vegan. So, feel free. All right, I see some rolling going on. Is that Tristan and Gemma there?
Yeah.
Nice.
Marty's still enjoying his.
Yeah, that's all good. Well, I guess everyone else is not on camera. Right.
They're listening.
I know, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
It's a little bit hard to understand.
All right. So our bacon is popping. You go on Charlie, pancetta, you know. Keep it moving. Well, I'm starting to establish some color right now. Again, all the preference, right? If you like it super crispy, take them dark. If you don't, don't. I'm going to find a happy medium, right? Because in England, we are bacon looking like that. Okay, our bacon is almost there, right? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to put the pasta in. Call me controversial. Right. I'm just going to fluff it in there, right? And we got, yeah, it already was up. Already on fire. All right. just gonna pull it out. I want some more water. Yeah, we're not gonna strain this, right? But we want some of that pasta water to get in and help it make our sauce for the most part, right? So I'm pretty good there. I'm okay with my bacon about there because we're also gonna have to turn it almost off and let it cool down before we add these egg yolks. Otherwise, we're gonna have scrambled eggs before we've made our sauce.
What if you're using pancetta? Let it go a little longer?
If you use a pancetta, again, all on preference, right? This is going to carry over and see it carry on getting dark.
So on the lighter side.
Yeah, if you want it crispy, you take it to where you like it. If you want a little chew to it, I wouldn't cook it as much. Right. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get back in more pasta here.
How long? How long to cook the pasta?
I'm just coming over to check it right now.
Oh, sorry.
That's like quick this comes together right again. Right? So we're gonna have a look. It's not sticking together. Still single strands. I'll give that maybe another 45 seconds. All right. Again, see our bacon here, right? It carried on. It's almost brown all the way. Right. I just had that off the heat. And again, if you don't want all that fat, you take some out. Right. I personally think that's where the flavor is, so I'm gonna leave it in. Okay. Here we go. Now again. With this fat, be careful when we take this pasta around, right? So let's get up fast. Right, there we go. And like I said, I want some of that water to help with the emulsification. So I'm putting it in, I'm moving it around. There we go. Let's go. Do the rest of it. This is only half the pasta, so that'll give you an idea of that recipe I did to start with, right? I think that's good for two. That's almost a full pound. So, you'll do that. You'll bring the heat back onto it slightly. And then we're going to spread some of our pasta water out. I need a couple of spoons. There we go. Keep it moving. It's kind of loose in there, right? You can't see water at the bottom, but there's a tiny bit. Right, we'll check that pasta. That's good. I'm going to hit it with black pepper because I love it.
Not too much.
Okay. Now I'm going to go with my egg and cheese. Right.
How long to boil the pasta?
How long? That was maybe 2 minutes.
But what if it's hand cut?
It's 10 pounds. I'll go 3.5. But keep an eye on it. Right, keep checking it. There we go. Then just the residual heat from the pasta in the pan is going to cook.
The heat was too low.
Sorry? Yeah, the ship is about 2 minutes. Again, they're going to cook that quick. You can stand over it and watch it. Right? I'm going to say this is together. I'm just going to add a bit more pasta water to give it a bit more juice. And that's, don't forget, that's seasoned as well. Right? So again, I haven't added any salt to this bar, that one pinch into the pasta dough, because we've got the heavily salted water. We have the Parmesan that's naturally salty. We have the bacon guanciale pancetta that is traditionally salty and normally salty. There we go. We're ready. I'll put that in some bowls and grate some lovely parm over the top and call it a day. You can also add a raw egg yolk if you want, right? If that's your fancy. You can do them sous vide to 63 degrees and just break them open and take the white off. And then it's a cooked egg yolk. You can put on top, but it's still runny and oozy and lovely. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. This is my bomb. I put it away, I think. All right, and then feel free, any herbs you fancy. Oh, look at you, Ben. Nice one, kid.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's the carbonara from scratch. 1 hour dead. Thank you for joining. Any questions? Yeah. All right, cool. Feel free to stay on if you want, if anyone wants any extra guidance. Yeah, any step by step. Again, I think Vanessa got it all on tape, so we'll be able to share it at some point. There you go.